Hello, welcome back to the channel, and if you're thinking this is not my normal setup, yes, you are 100% correct. But we are not in normal times. I'm actually not in Cork, where I've done 99%, if not 100% of the post-production on my indie feature film, Gardener's Planet. We are actually fortunate enough to be in County Clare at the moment. I'm up here for work, so I kind of wanted to make a video this week of just catching you up how I got here and what I'm doing with the film at the moment. So my life would be a lot easier if I could just stay at home in Cork and work on the film full time, but life does not work that way. I have to go up Clare for my job, and that means the film has to come along with me, and that means you're coming too. So I've really been enjoying doing the motion capture stuff. I think I've learned so much. It's just been really exciting to play around with this new technology. If you haven't seen it, I did another video on motion capture up here, and you can click and watch that if you want. But you know, I really want to find opportunities in the film to use it more and more. And so I've basically now want to create a fully CGI scene in the film. I kind of came up with this concept of designing like a Simpsons Treehouse of Horror episode where it, you know, zooms out of Earth and you see the aliens on their spaceship, you know, surveying the Earth and making plans. I've already started doing some of this in Cork, so now I want to continue doing this up in Clare. So yeah, so let's dive into doing this and see how we get on. Okay, so we're just going to start with our CGI set here, and this is something that I've started in Cork. So you can see there's our set, and there's the Earth in the background. Oh, and we're straight into it. This is just again sped up for time reasons. So we're just going to start with the control panel, you know, because that's really just what I never got around to doing before in Cork. So we're just going to, you know, create a load of buttons and essentially add some color and just add a lot of detail. You know, anytime you see any kind of tutorial or any behind the scenes, computer people, graphics people I should call them, and art design people, you know, they all say the same thing: add loads of detail. So that's just what we're trying to do here. We're trying to just raise the desk, the control panel, and just add in loads of buttons and switches that really make it look like there's just a lot going on. Then just here on the left and right, we're just adding some pillars, and we're just adding an emission thing there just to make it glow. And you know, it might seem complex, but in Blender you're just using the same buttons over and over again. You're using the scale button, the inset button, the extend button, and the extrude, and that's really it. You know, you're using them again and again, and in this case the emissions as well. Okay, great. So now that we're done with our CGI set, at least for now, let's move on to our CGI characters. And we do obviously have a script for this, and the two aliens, they each have a number of lines each. So working from the script, we're just going to continue what we started in Cork and just work here in the B&B, doing some more of the dialogue that we didn't get done down in Cork. And what's kind of funny about this as well is, you know, because I'm just going to play the two aliens, you know, it's essentially me having a conversation with myself, but I will replace my dialogue. And then we're back onto the computer. We're just going to create a lot of folders. You know, being organized is the most important thing in this when you have so many folders, so many files, and so much information. Then we're going to take that shot that we shot in the B&B in Clare. We're bringing this here into Wonder Studio, as you can see, letting it process, allowing it identify the actor, choosing the alien, and then just processing, and away we go. And yeah, here we are back in Blender now, taking the information out of Wonder Studio. Again, similar to the last tutorial, if not exactly the same, basically, with the blue background. as a blue screen. For the moment I am just keying the characters into the set. I'm not actually inserting them in or dropping them in or importing them or dropping them in, I should say, or appending them in, as they say in Blender. I'm just keying them in for now, because I'm really playing around with the lighting, and getting familiar, with the best way of doing it, and I'm still learning a lot about this. Everything that's happening here is a mistake at the moment. But again, I've erased the default camera. I've created my own camera. I've lowered it just so it's kind of a low angle, looking up at the alien, they're the bad guys, and then doing a bit of lighting here. And the lighting that we do on film sets in live action, the rules that apply for that, I use the word rules loosely, they apply to the 3D world as well. So we've done a bit of a 3-point lighting setup here, having the green light behind him as a backlight, having a red light kind of in front of him, and here we've also added a flashing orange light to his right. And now here's all our frames. Right, and while that is rendering, it's time for me to take a break. So I'm coming up to Clare to teach transitioners how to make some short films, and I'm staying in Ruan, just north of Ennis, and I haven't really had a chance to look around much since I got here, so let's go exploring right now. Cool, so there's nothing like a walk to clear the head. And here we are now in Blender, and it's interesting to compare our export of 300 samples to a previous export that was done in Cork at 16 samples. And you can see that 300 samples is far more beautiful, far more convincing, and just overall far more information on the texture of the aliens. And all those beautiful skin patterns that our artist worked to put into, they're far more clear, and they're just working a lot better. So that is the level I want to get to, 300 samples. It obviously takes a lot longer to export 300 samples, but I guess I need to start making more time for it. And what I noticed as well is, looking back on the Simpsons clip, is all the flashing lights on their spaceship. So it's time to go back now into our CGI set and just include a few flashing lights as well, because they really give a good sense of fun, and they give a sense of tone, which you don't really get in the same way if you don't have those flashing lights, and it just helps to bring the set to life as well. So yeah, that's our final spaceship set done at 100 samples, and again we want to get that up to 300 or 500 samples. And here's our 300 sample alien sitting into the 100 sample alien set, and it looks really good. I'm only keying it in for the moment, but as I was saying, I'm planning on getting the alien sitting in there properly, and I'm really looking forward to doing that. So that's great. That's really all we have time for in this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, do please consider liking and subscribing. Work on this scene will continue, and I'll start to fine tune it now when I get back to Cork in a few days. But really excited with what I've done here. I think I've done some cool stuff. And I think this scene, it'll be a fun scene for the audience, which has nothing to do with plot. And it's just, really diving into new technology, pushing my skills as far as they can go. And yeah, it should be really entertaining. So I can't wait to kind of finish this up, finesse it, get it onto the timeline and see what it looks like. So it should be really, really cool. Really excited. See you soon. See you in another video.